right, now I'm going to show some highlights and kind of give you a recap of the Buffalo Colorado game. Josh Byrne starts it and gets him running about halfway through the first period. Both goalies, both defensive, actually played pretty good when you look through the scoring. See, there's an example right there. McKay playing great defense, knocks the ball down. Priolo comes up, passes the ball off. Nice little behind the back flip from Dane Smith over to Chase Frazier, and they're on the board just before the end of the first. Buffalo playing the two-man game. Chase Frazier catches it, tiptoes all the way around the crease. Beautiful move, gets it to Dane Smith. Dane sees him step back, and he sees McCauley step back, and there's really not that much separation with the defense here. But you watch, he's watching his guy, looks over just as the ball's coming, and that half a second of him not having his stick on the man on his hands is what allows that goal. Not much you can expect Dylan Moore to do there. He just went all the way around the crease, over to the far side, and comes back. Buffalo playing great defense here. Just collapsing down. Buffalo gets the ball, they throw it down. Whoop, nice little move there. Keep possession, throws it up. He sees Byrne come flying off the bench. Nice pass over, but Spanger comes down and gets this loose ball, just kind of chips it up to Priolo, saves the possession. They get it to Dane Smith in the back. And then you see they pass it over to Byrne, comes back to Frazier, and Frazier's able to bury it. It's those little plays that make the difference, and it's now 5-0. Buffalo's on the penalty kill. Drive in with about 10 seconds left on the shot clock, get a nice shot. Great attempt by Chase Frazier, who puts a ton of pressure on, and then it's followed up by Dane Smith. So the pass wasn't great because of the pressure Frazier put on. Dane Smith puts enough pressure on, comes up with the ball. That's not going to make the stat sheet necessarily for everybody, but that was a beautiful play right there to secure possession, and that's why we see Buffalo with the lead. It's the little plays that don't always make the scoreboard. But you see Nanakoke, who never stops moving, just gets open in the middle. A little confusion on the defense there. Look how spread out they are, playing man down. So they have an extra guy, and they're doubled up on the far side. Beautiful job right there. So you see Buchanan comes in, draws both defensemen. They leave Nanakoke all alone, and before anybody can get to him, he buries it. All right, so here, Buffalo wins the face-off. Come back down. Josh Byrne comes sprinting off the bench. Leaps. Beautiful save, Dylan Ward, but he also gets a penalty. They call a goaltender interference, so it's now going to be 5-on-3. Spanger had a 2-minute holding penalty earlier, and Buffalo scored a shorthanded goal. Now we come down, and it's a 5-on-3. You see, they actually leave the fifth guy up top, and they basically play 4-on-3, which they play 2 up top and 1 down low. You see Zed Williams catches it down low. Looks like he's thinking about passing it just to keep Weiss off his hands for half a second, and turns and fires it. That is nice right there. You just turn, yeah, just that half a look, which keeps Weiss there. And we talk so much about stuff in this game being only half a second, and that's kind of how it goes. So 5:22 left, so we've made it essentially 25 minutes without a goal from Colorado. Buffalo's defense played amazing with Matt Vince. And now we see Dane Smith gets on the board, and when you actually watch, he's ecstatic. When you actually watch this, though, you see that it looks like a pass. I'm pretty sure he was trying to pass it to the man inside. You see it right here. He's definitely feeding it down low and into the inside. He doesn't catch the pass, but beautiful pass down low. So it's now 7-1. All right, so 7-1. And this is kind of what Colorado ran into all night. McLaughlin all alone. Beautiful save, Vince, and he reaches back, gathers the rebound. And that kind of summed up why there's only 1 goal so far in the first half with 2 minutes and, just about 3 minutes to go. Big save there. McLaughlin again tries in a huge diving save, and now he's in the crease. So we're sending the ball the other way. They didn't call goaltender interference on that one. Vince just looked amazing. And then we start the second half. Byrne comes flying in. Josh Byrne scores. They call no goal. And you actually see this next angle is the best one, I think. You can see the net move when the ball hits it clearly before. So it's not in, not in, not in. It's in, and he still hasn't touched down. He didn't touch before he went in. Beautiful goal, Josh Byrne. Great challenge by Tavares. But now Colorado's going to get on the board. But this is the kind of play it took for Colorado to even be able to get on the board. See him feed it across. Boom. Nice pass over to Kelly. Kelly throws it to the back door to McLaughlin, and McLaughlin buries it. Buffalo, though, answers in just about a minute when Dane Smith comes in and gets his second goal of the evening. And a long shot on Dylan Ward. But Ward made a bunch of his own big saves, and here you see the Mammoth going to play some transition. Nice pass up, and then he hits McLaughlin down low. Hope fires it right up. Beautiful pass. I believe that was Caputo. Yes, so Caputo on the pass. And a beautiful couple fakes. He's got time. So Buffalo, there's a 5-minute major power play. They score 2 goals quickly. And then this one, I think he pushes him into Vince. Obviously, he felt differently about that. But what most people didn't notice, and I didn't notice the first time, was they called a goal on the field. Edwards just coolly walks away. Beautiful goal. Not even so much there. Right there, Spanger definitely pushes him into Vince. I think that view shows it the best. But right here, you see a clear goal, clearly pushed in by Spanger into the goalie. And then they got to stick up for the goalie. But now it's 4-9. And the Mammoth are starting to come back. And there's another goal from Connor Kelly from out deep, something you're not used to seeing Vince let in. So right now, the third quarter, it looks like Buffalo's taking their, requisite time off because they never seem to be able to play a full game. They take another 5-minute penalty here. Boom, right up in the face. Chase Frazier. Easy 5-minute call for the refs. They review it, and it definitely upheld to 5 minutes. Beautiful duck attempt, but now Vince is back on. And you're going to see McKay come up. And this play right here is beautiful. See, they make the defender, they run down, but then they don't rush here. He looks like he's going to set a screen on him almost, which is what the bottom guy sees, so he doesn't cover him yet. And then all of a sudden, right here, you're going to see he tries to go over, but it's too late. Both guys leave him alone, and Buchanan buries it in the middle. Beautiful transition play. Buffalo, though, decides to start playing offense again. And you see they get Nanakoke in the middle again. Boom. Same thing. It's that moving around, trying to get a guy lost in the middle in the shuffle. Buffalo seems to be doing it pretty good. And that's why I think this weekend is going to be a very tough game for Riley Hutchcraft. But we'll see how he handles it. I'm expecting Buffalo's offense to open up. There's Nanakoke looking good. Dane Smith's on the board for this game. A lot of good things for Buffalo. Buffalo played some great defense. But, I mean, Colorado's got a lot of talent. You see Kelly just kind of steps in. In this play, everybody's like, oh, it's a far out shot. Why can't the goalie just make it? But you see Kelly steps to the middle. It makes Mintz square up on that because he could beat him far side. And he's just a little bit off the pipe, and that's all he needed was just a little bit. Beautiful play. Kelly coming off the bench. Colorado does this very well. We've seen a few of their goals with the guy coming off the bench just flying in. Boom. Beautiful. See, Gibson knows he's coming in. He points to him. I didn't even notice that. Great play, Ty Gibson. Points to him, goes in, like he stands just in the way long enough, and then beautifully lets the defender go out there, set a screen for him. Nice goal. Great play, Ty Gibson. Great vision. This I just had to record because I'm pretty sure he just whacks him in the cup. Well, hopefully in the cup. Oh, no, he hits him in the thigh with his stick. But Buffalo definitely gets under your skin. They can make you take stupid penalties. Chase Frazier gets one because he got a little overzealous on the slash as the 8-second clock was starting to wind down. Big hit to thank him for his troubles. This play, though, wow. So Dane Smith shoots it from up top, and it bounces right into Buchanan's stick. You see Hope tries to play goalie. He actually just missed it. He almost had it. So, yeah, huge game for Buffalo. Buffalo's defense is looking on point. Their offense is coming together. Vince even almost gets a goal at the end, but that pretty much rounds it out. Thanks everybody so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments which games you want us to try to break down next week. It would really help. There's a lot of games playing this weekend. Everybody and their brother seems to be playing this weekend. I think every team is actually playing. We've got a couple games starting tomorrow. We've got Toronto and Halifax. That's going to be a great game to watch. We just covered Halifax last week, but I would definitely do it again. San Diego and Las Vegas. I would expect that Paul's going to want to cover Vegas because he's a Bertrand fan. But I would also expect that San Diego handily beats Las Vegas. We will see. I think this Toronto Halifax game has some big implications. It's not as much anymore that they have the unified standings versus the East, but Halifax has to start winning. Halifax definitely cannot be happy with the way the season has turned out so far. Let's see where they are. So Halifax is 2-2. Halifax is 500 right now, and right now Toronto is 3-0. Huge game. We're going to see if Toronto, they showed some flaws playing against the Riptide. Their defense is stout. I think their defense isn't the problem. What I'm wondering is if their offense is going to be able to get the goals. And I mean, that really, it's such a tough call because Halifax can definitely score. I expect Halifax to come out early. When Halifax wins, they usually have to have an early lead, and then they just kind of hold on to it. Seems to be how it goes. Rochester Buffalo is going to be huge this weekend because Buffalo's finally getting back on board. Buffalo's Vince is looking good. They took about 5 minutes off in that last game where Colorado was able to come back. I expect the same thing to happen. I don't think Connor Fields and company will be able to do enough to stop them, so I would expect Buffalo to win that game. Saskatchewan, Philadelphia, I think the Rush finally start turning things around here. The Rush are a very good team, and they're sitting 1-3. They have like a 4 goal difference between their goals for and their goals against, which is huge. They have 4 more goals than they have goals against. So not something you would necessarily, here, I'll pull that stat up. Not something you would necessarily expect for a team with a losing record to have more goals. I mean, yes, they had a big blowout, I guess. You could look at it that way, but I'm expecting the Rush to get on board here and be able to beat Philadelphia. Panther City taking on New York. A lot of people, so Panther City's taking on New York, and Panther City is looked good. They've been so close in all their games. Actually, Panther City's another one of those teams. When you look at the standings, their goals for and their goals against is they have 41 goals for and 43 goals against. They are very close. This I actually expect to be a deceptively good game. I think this is the sleeper game of the weekend that people aren't going to be paying attention to, but I would guess Panther City in New York is going to be a great game. Albany and Georgia, everybody knows is going to be a great game. I'm going to be watching that one live. I will probably have to go back and watch Panther City New York. And then San Diego, doubleheader this weekend, and they're playing Colorado. Colorado just came off the loss. They need to start turning their season around. They do this all the time, though. They're a notorious slow starter. Ryan Lee is still out. Don't expect him to come back. Connor Kelly had a few goals last time. He doesn't replace him all the way on the offense. So he gets a few goals, but he's not quite the same player with the off-ball movement that you get when you get Ryan Lee. And then Calgary, Vancouver, my main man Owen's going to watch that, so I know I'm going to be cutting that one up with him. I expect Calgary to be able to beat Vancouver. The big thing with this game is Calgary and Vancouver. This is the first time that Calgary is going to be playing their old coach. He likes to call him Mouse Molosky. That's his name, right? Kurt Molosky. Let me check. I don't want to screw it up. Yeah, Kurt Molosky. So I was right. So he likes to call him Mouse, but Kurt Molosky, first time taking on his own team. I expect this game to be a very good game. I think Vancouver has definitely come a long way since he's been with them. Calgary, same thing. They've got a new coach. Things are starting to come together. It really seemed to click last week. They had a great game last week. Thanks everybody so much for tuning in. This was the previews. And again, leave a comment. Let us know if there's any games you want to see, any highlights you guys want to see. We're going to try to really make a run at doing this. So